Please rise for the salute to the flag and remain standing for the alma mater and the Star-Spangled Banner. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, we finally made it. Graduation. Can you believe it? Because I certainly can't. Graduation is a time for celebration, a time for rejoicing, and a time for a little bit of fear to set in. It is also a time for us to think back to all the wonderful memories that we have of the years. As I stand here looking into your emotion-filled faces, I see the friends that I have made and the teachers that I have had a pleasure to be with. I'm sure that if you look around, you could say the same thing. Events like homecoming, the senior variety show, and the prom are all memories that will forever be in our hearts. Hold on to them, because sometimes memories are all that we have. Next year, we will go our separate ways. They say discovery is born of risk-taking. There are certain risks that we must take in order to succeed. It is my hope that everyone here takes many risks and is successful in your endeavors. Although we may be faced with difficulty, we must utilize what we have learned in order to succeed in tomorrow's struggles. As a great American film actor once said, "Tomorrow is the most important thing in life. It comes into us at midnight, very clean. It hopes we've learned something from yesterday." It is now time to seek out the opportunities that call us and use our special talents and strengths to make a positive impact on society. As we leave here today, the graduating class of 1998, we're closing a chapter in our life, but opening a brand new one. I would like to take a moment to thank you, my friends, for making me your class president for the past 4 years. It has been both an honor and a privilege. Thank you, and good luck to everyone.
Excellent speech, Dara. Congratulations to all of us. We are the East Brunswick High School class of 1998. We sit here to celebrate our commencement. Commencement for us is the sign of a new beginning, a new hope, a new opportunity, but at the same time, our greatest test of character to date. How will we use the lessons we have learned in high school? How will we adapt to our new sense of freedom and power? What will be our contribution to the community of man? I have faith that we all can succeed. By virtue of the fact that you're sitting here today, we have said to the world that we will not go quietly into the night, that we will fight, that we will succeed. We live in an optimistic time, but in a time still plagued by disease, hunger, disparities in wealth, and fear. We cannot forget that there are millions of children throughout the world, in our own country even, that were never given the chance to see the inside of a classroom, to hear the sound of a computer, or to experience the benefits of a good education. We must be the saviors of the forgotten, and we can be. There are so many doors open to us in college, in the job market. What we must do is seek out those opportunities. As William Shakespeare wrote, we must strive to seek, to find, to fight, and not to yield. I believe that we are all born with the same innate potential, but it is cultivating that potential that is the basis of all life's accomplishments. However, this success can only come from a strength of heart and a boldness of mind. We must be confident in our own abilities and always strive to reach the highest mountain summit. We owe that much to our parents, to our teachers, to our country, and to ourselves. We owe it to our parents, who gave us life and care for our every concern. To our teachers, who teach us to think and opened our minds to the vast human capacity for knowledge. To our country, whose own success rests on our active participation. And to ourselves, the greatest judge and sole competitor in the game of life. Our generation, the best educated, the best informed, and the most optimistic in a while, has major responsibilities ahead. So as we go forward with our lives, remember that our decisions, our chosen paths, our opinions, and our deeds will shape the 21st century no matter how we look at it. What it boils down to is this: we are the young in whose minds and hearts the search for truth, honor, decency, and respect must never end. That is what our future holds. That is our charge. That is our guide for success. Good luck, and Godspeed the class of 1998.
It's so hard. Some of you who spoke to me this past week asked me whether my speech was prepared. Well, the speech wasn't ready, and I was embarrassed to tell you that I hadn't yet done my homework. But that wasn't exactly true either. I had spent hours looking for what I called divine inspiration. I read, thought, and recorded quotations that I thought might be useful. I searched for a topic worthy of people about to embark on their futures, and decided on the importance of living each day fully with determination and passion. It is that process that is life. I thought about the act of getting started and the divine inspiration that all procrastinators hope for. Whether we ask God or some part of our inner being or friends and family, it does eventually come to us. The Austrian poet Rainer Maria Rilke said, "Be patient toward all that is unresolved in your heart, and try to love the questions. Try to love the questions themselves." Again, the realization that the process, rather than the outcome, is life. I sat this past Sunday with my coffee and watched the program Sunday Morning. A journalist named Rita Braver was interviewing the artist George Siegel, a name I hope a few of you remember. That, I sense, was my inspiration, because it connected to a weekly routine of mine. Each Sunday morning for a couple of years, I've taken a walk down my road, my 1-mile marker being the farm of artist George Siegel. Just too much of a coincidence, I thought. I quickly took notes whenever something seemed interesting. When Braver described Siegel's plaster everyman sculptures as lonely but accessible, and asked, "Are you trying to make us see ourselves?" Siegel replied, "Yes, but I'm also trying to see myself." He said that daily life is extraordinary, emphasizing extra. Clearly, his own daily life was recalled when he was asked to create a memorial to President Franklin Roosevelt. Leaving out FDR himself, he used everyman images of that time. A desperate farm couple, men waiting for a handout, and a man he described as much like his own father, with his ear to an old radio, listening to FDR's fireside chats. He became the artist that his teachers had no faith in. He said, "I never got encouraged by a single teacher I had in school." His father told him he'd never support himself as an artist, so he built a chicken farm down the road from my house. His wife ran the farm while he went to school to study art. He was determined and passionate. Socrates said, "To do is to be." Plato said, "To be is to do." Our daily lives cannot be lived for the mere attainment of goals. It's the process of getting there that constitutes life. So I took my walk in the pouring rain, determined to freshen my mind. I passed the old Fresh Ponds Chapel, where buried in a small surrounding graveyard is a runaway slave, and every man not forgotten. I passed a farm with fields plowed except a small tuft, undisturbed, in honor of the Revolutionary War soldiers said to be buried there. And I thought about mortality and what Siegel said when describing his recent charcoal drawings of aging models, including himself. He said, "I was recording the rhythm of my skin." I reached his farm and turned back for home, and in a moment of excitement, I saw a car pull up his driveway. I prepared myself for the encounter, finally to meet the man I was reading and studying about all my life. When out of the car stepped a stranger, not him. So, it is, I repeat, the process or the journey, our determination and passion that will count. I wish you all a great and successful journey. Good luck.
Good afternoon and welcome to all. Thanks for sharing this graduation ceremony with all of us who make up the East Brunswick High School community. First of all, I want to thank the class of 1998 for your cooperative spirit during these past 3 years. It has been enjoyable working with you and your class leaders. Your open-mindedness to try new ideas and become involved in programs new to our school has been exemplary. You will not only be remembered for bringing home the national title from the We the People competition, but also but also as the first class that started working with our senior citizens who have come to our school for the past 2 years. You will also be remembered for performing community service, and lastly, as the first class in East Brunswick High School history to attend a project graduation. All of these events have shown our community how special you are. The class of '98 will be etched in the annals of East Brunswick High School history forever. The final request I have of you as your principal is that wherever you land in life, whatever your final destination, get involved in the community in which you reside. Life is not a spectator sport. The more involved you are, the more fulfilling your life will be. If you see a wrong, correct it. Work the system. The world is full of people who sit by and watch as their lives go on. Those that think one person cannot make a difference are wrong. Imagine if Thomas Jefferson, Abraham Lincoln, Oscar Schindler, Mother Teresa, and Martin Luther King chose not to become involved. Thank goodness that they all did. The world is infinitely a better place because of their values and the actions that they took. You have been taught at East Brunswick High School to seize the day and make a difference in the lives of others. Each one of you is empowered to become involved in your community. As Theodore Roosevelt said, what you do for yourself dies with you. What you do for your community will live on forever. Certainly all of you know someone who volunteers in the community. Many of you have been actively involved for years. Most of you have been the beneficiaries of volunteerism. The satisfaction derived from knowing that you have helped someone, a group, or made your community a better place to live is nearly unmatched in this world. It is second only to being part of a loving family. So for the class of 1998, I bid you farewell. I am confident that you can achieve your dreams if you work hard and show perseverance during the difficult times in your life. Please remember to spend time with your families, grasp the opportunities to help others, and always, always perform to the best of your abilities. If you do this, you can lead a satisfying life. Good luck to the class of '98. I wish you many years of happiness and good health. Thank you. At this time, it gives me great pleasure to recognize the students who have achieved the highest academic status in their high school careers. Salutatorian Helen O. Yang. Valedictorian and highest honors for achieving all A's for every course he's taken in high school, Ari Waldman. Congratulations to these outstanding students. Thank you.
It is truly a privilege and a pleasure for me to be here with you today to honor this outstanding senior class. Many people have worked very, very hard for many years to make this occasion possible. First of all are your parents. They have been the most significant influence in your life since the time you were born, and they deserve your love and appreciation for all that they have done for you. They've helped you grow from infancy to the day you started kindergarten, to when you learned how to read and write, and through all the other important lessons of life. They undoubtedly feel a little ambivalent about what's happening here today, happy that you've reached this milestone, but I'm sure a little sad because it does signify the end of your childhood. The next group of people who have contributed to this day are your teachers, who have helped you to acquire the skills that will be essential to you in the years ahead. The entire administration, faculty, and staff have created an environment which is conducive to learning and have provided the challenging educational experiences that enabled you to express your diverse interests and talents. In addition, appreciation is expressed to the Board of Education. Their work has certainly affected what has happened in your classrooms every day of your years here in the East Brunswick Public Schools. More importantly, you, the senior class, have made today possible. You have mastered difficult subjects and have developed skills that will be essential throughout your lives. Because of your diligence and perseverance, you're about to become the newest alumni of East Brunswick High School, and that is truly a noteworthy accomplishment. As I was gathering my thoughts about what I would like to say in my parting message to you, I decided to share with you a story about Lou Holtz, former coach of Notre Dame University and one of his team members. A few of the people in the audience today may have heard this before, but I think it bears repeating, especially on occasion such as this, because it does have a profound message for all of us. Some years ago, Coach Holtz had a player from Dallas, Texas, by the name of Alton Maiden. Alton earned a 2.2 grade point average for his first 2 semesters at Notre Dame University. And then he achieved a 1.9 for 2 semesters. As a result, he was suspended from school for a year. He could have gone home, he complained, moaned, and groaned, but he didn't. He sat out that year and came back with a different attitude, a new resolve, determined never to have an average below a 3 again, and he never did. He graduated Notre Dame with a 3.2 average. He was also determined to start at defensive guard. Coach Holtz didn't think he was capable, basically because of his size and his speed. He did, and he started all 12 games for Notre Dame and scored 2 touchdowns. Coach Holtz, on one of the road trips, took this young player to a very old historical site, which was predominantly a cemetery. While there, this young man was so touched that he wrote a poem. First, let me get you all thinking one last time in relation to this poem and to the cemetery. Have you ever really looked at a tombstone? Think about it. I'm sure we've all seen one, read it, and walked away. Imagine one right now. What do you see in your mind? Dates, a name, perhaps a brief eulogy. Think about what you're seeing. And now be honest. Is anyone really seeing the dash? This is Alton Maiden's poem, which is called The Dash. And it goes like this. I've seen life stare at me with my own eyes, the way that many cannot know. And I've seen death take a lot of other people and left me here below. I've heard many people laugh, but life refused to hear. And in my time, I've seen a lot of faces filled with many tears. After life has come and gone, a tombstone sits for many to see, but it's no more than a symbol of a person's memory. Under the person's name, it reads the date of birth, dash, and the date the person passed. But the more I think about the tombstone, the only important thing is the dash. Yes, I see the name of the person, but that I might forget. And I also read the date of birth and death, but that might not even stick. But thinking about the person, I can't help but remember the dash, because that represents a person's life, and that will always last. So when you begin to charter your life, make sure you're on a positive path, because people may forget your birth and death, but they will never forget your dash. Here is a young man, 22 years of age, defensive lineman, who had the insight to understand that life is what we do for other people. It is the dash that's important. And I hope that you will remember Alton Maiden's message. Class of 1998, please accept my sincere wishes for success, health, and happiness in your years ahead. Thank you. President Paulson and members of the Board of Education, at this time, it is a distinct privilege and honor for me as the Superintendent of Schools to present the East Brunswick High School class of 1998. And to certify that each student has successfully completed the program of studies prescribed by the state of New Jersey and the East Brunswick Board of Education required for a high school diploma. Mrs. Paulson?
It is an incredible day. I hope that everyone here is as happy as I am to be part of this wonderful celebration of the class of 1998. Naturally, all of our classes are very special, but this one is particularly important to me, not only because my daughter Sarah is one of you, but also because I have known so very many of you since kindergarten. You have caused me and your parents to cry with pride, hurt with your disappointments and sadness. And today, each one of us is truly in awe of each one of you. Oh yes, you were the kindergartner, the first grader learning how to read, the child at field day, the adolescent at Stokes or Fairview, the teenager at Churchill, the track star, the artist, the dancer, the volleyball player, and the We the People winner. You are the gifts tied with heartstrings. You are our sons and our daughters. And you are the most wonderful, successful, and exciting young men and women I have ever known. Now is another beginning for you, another new chapter for you to write. So, as Emerson said, hitch your dreams to a star. Oh no, you may not, and you may have inherited your father's nose, or heaven forbid, your mother's hair, or your Uncle Sonny's wit. But you need not ever inherit other people's dreams. Your dreams are your own. To dare, to seek, to share, if you wish. Dreams are so essential because as Carl, he wouldn't mind, I'm sure, because as Carl Sandburg wrote, nothing happens unless first a dream. Then you must transform the gossamer filament of the dream into the sturdy fabric of your reality. You need to have a passion, whether it be for the visual arts, music, sciences, politics, accounting, computer technology, journalism, or sports. You have to follow your heart, even though you meet obstacles and even though your dream seems impossible. I know that following your dream will bring great happiness to you. And as Robert Louis Stevenson wrote, there is no duty we so much underrate as the duty of being happy. By being happy, we sow anonymous benefits upon the world. Certainly, today is an example of the way happiness is contagious. All of us here today share in your great joy and celebration. Congratulations to everyone here who made today possible. Dr. Kopko, Mr. Tantillo, and you, the faculty and staff of East Brunswick High School, your parents, and especially to you, the incredible class of 1998. In closing, I have some words of encouragement from an author that you all grew up with. And no, it isn't Shakespeare, and no, it isn't Dickens, and believe it or not, it's not Toni Morrison. So I'm going to read this to you. Congratulations, today is your day. You're off to great places, you're off and away. And will you succeed? Yes, you will indeed. 98.75% guaranteed. Kid, you'll move mountains. So you're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. So on behalf of the East Brunswick Board of Education, I accept the recommendation of the administration of the East Brunswick High School and the school district and direct that the members of the class of 1998 be awarded their diplomas. I love you, class of 1998.